Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
On today's Smart 7, inflation jumps again, Russia threatens Times editors over Moscow deaths, and much more. It's Thursday 19th of December, it's National Emo Day, and happy birthday, Richard Hammond.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Wednesday saw the last Prime Minister's question time for 2024 as the House of Commons gets ready to wrap up for Christmas. It was no sleigh ride for Keir Starmer, though, who came under repeated pressure over his government's decision not to agree compensation for the so-called WASPI Women. Labour MP and Mother of the House Diane Abbott wanted answers.
I understand the issue about the cost, but does the Prime Minister really understand how let down WASPI women feel today?
He maintained that 90% of those impacted knew that the changes to pension rules were taking place and that the government can't afford another multi-billion-pound payout. He also took the time to take a swipe at Tory leader Kemi Badenoch over what appears to be Tory policy confusion and also her recent pronouncement about her lunchtime preferences.
She now says they are committed to the triple lock. Her shadow chancellor says they're not, that it's unsustainable. Maybe over a sandwich or a steak they could sort it out and come back and tell us what their policy actually is.
There was no good news for Labour on the economy on Wednesday as inflation rose again for the second month in a row, hitting 2.6%. That means it's unlikely that the Bank of England will cut interest rates on Thursday, and it won't help families struggling with the cost of living. The increase was driven by motor fuel and clothes, while airfare prices dropped slightly. Chancellor Rachel Reeves says it's nothing to be too alarmed about.
That is comparable to other countries around the world. I recognise that the cost of living crisis continues to bite. That's why in the budget we increased the national living wage. So we recognise the challenges that families remain under and are taking action to address that ongoing cost of living challenge.
Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith is concerned that the changes in the budget are having a negative effect on the economy.
My real worry is that every day the contours of the damage being done to our economy are being revealed, and I am genuinely really worried for the economy, and I'm worried about the economy that we might one day inherit.
Russia continued to lash out on Wednesday in the aftermath of the assassination of a senior Russian general in the heart of Moscow. Deputy head of the Russian Security Council Daniil Medvedev threatened the editors of the Times newspaper for an editorial which said Lieutenant General Kirillov was a legitimate target. He said as far as Russia is concerned, the miserable jackals at the Times are all now legitimate targets, a statement condemned by Foreign Secretary David Lammy. Medvedev also threatened NATO officials supporting Ukraine, and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte says Europe has to take Russia's threats more seriously.
Anyone attacking us will be confronted with the full NATO onslaught, fighting back and making sure that he or she who tries to attack us will never do this again. But I'm not so sure about 4 or 5 years from now.
UN humanitarian chief Tom Fletcher was in Syria on Wednesday, and he warned that the fall of the Assad regime means that aid to Syria will need to be significantly increased. Meanwhile, as efforts continue to secure a ceasefire in Gaza, the Israeli military issued evacuation orders in central Gaza in advance of a possible offensive. That might not mean a ceasefire is off the table, as the IDF struck multiple targets in Beirut just before the ceasefire with Hezbollah began. The US, Egypt and Qatar have been working on a phased plan which would see hostages released, a prisoner exchange and the gradual withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. Israeli government spokesman David Mencer says the threat of Hamas remains Israel's priority.
We don't want to be in Gaza for one moment longer than we have to be, but we have a duty to defend our people. We will not allow terrorists to try and repeat October the 7th massacre.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Arsenal squeak through to the Carabao semi-finals and Pamela Anderson celebrates the Golden Globes. Right after this.
The holidays are all about sharing with family. Meals, couches, stories, Grandma's secret pecan pie recipe. And now you can also share a cart with Instacart's Family Carts. Everyone can add what they want to one group cart from wherever they are, so you don't have to go from room to room to find out who wants cranberry sauce, or whether you should get mini marshmallows for the yams or collecting votes for sugar cookies versus shortbread. Just share a cart and then share the meals and the moments. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Welcome back.
3 of the Carabao Cup quarter-finals took place on Wednesday evening, with Man United facing Spurs in the fourth on Thursday. Liverpool travelled to Southampton without manager Arne Slot, who had picked up a touchline ban, but it didn't make any difference as his team won comfortably. The game finished 2-1 to the Reds. Newcastle entertained Brentford and chalked up a straightforward 3-1 win. Arsenal hosted Crystal Palace and struggled a little despite a hat-trick from Gabriel Jesus, but eventually closed out the game with a 3-2 win. Manager Mikel Arteta was happy to see Jesus back on the score sheet.
Well, it's about confidence, and when you haven't scored a goal for almost a year, it's tough, it sticks in your mind and you are thinking about it. It's a big, big thing for him and for the team. It's a big message for the team that we've got Gabi back at his best, and at that level he can really deliver for us.
Pamela Anderson was an instant icon when she burst onto our screens in slow motion back in 1989 as the star of Baywatch. She's been through a lot since then, but she's enjoying a second turn in the spotlight, this time for her role in The Last Showgirl. It tells the story of a Vegas showgirl facing a new life at the end of a 30-year run in sequins, and she's already been nominated for her first ever Golden Globe for her performance. She told Entertainment Tonight that her son Brandon has helped mastermind her career resurgence.
No, he's wonderful. He's such a visionary and has kind of masterminded this whole kind of comeback. He did the documentary. That's how Gia discovered me, seeing a person that's really aching to express herself as an artist.
Safe to say Brandon gets an invite as your date for the Golden Globes now?
I'm bringing him.
We all know the Christmas classic, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, but in a less seasonal twist, Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega star in a new movie in which they run over a unicorn. Yes, the mythical beast with the horn and the wings. And no, we don't know why a unicorn was on a road in the first place. It's a new dark comedy horror from A24 which sees Paul and Jenna play father and daughter on the way to a weekend retreat with Rudd's farmer billionaire boss, played by Richard E. Grant. The hit and run turns into a hit and hide as it turns out the unicorn has magical properties and also plenty of angry friends. It's called Death of a Unicorn and it's due in cinemas in spring 2025.
What exactly are we saying this is, though?
I think we know exactly what it is.
A horse-like mammalia.
With some sort of protrusion or growth. It's a unicorn.
I don't think I should be in swim shorts for this moment.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.